Yes, it's another Valkia Let's Play. What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here, welcoming you to part 1 of a brand new Total Warhammer 3 Immortal Empires campaign. Coming in second in the community poll for the Champions of Chaos DLC, the Gorequeen, Valkia the Bloody. I wasn't originally planning to do both Valkia and Village, whose campaign is running concurrently, but I really wanted to try this faction out, especially since I haven't done Khorne at all. Plus Blood has come out, and you have to get something Khornate going, or else it's just wrong, people. In addition to that, Valkia starts all the way essentially at the opposite end of the map from Village, and Khorne and Tzeentch are kind of polar opposites of each other, so it does feel appropriate to run them both, and I think their campaigns will be sufficiently different to warrant it. Anyway, before we jump in and paint the town red, a couple things to mention. If you enjoy this content and you want to see it updated regularly, don't forget to drop your likes and comments for the algorithm down below. As always, a huge shout out to you guys for all your comments and support. YouTube's my hobby, and your comments keep it fun, keep the channel alive, and keep these videos coming. That's it, that's all. Let's take a quick look at this faction's details, though do feel free to skip to gameplay via timestamps below if not interested. So, it looks like Valkia has access to bloodletting, so just like Skarbrand in that regard, though I do wonder if it is the same type of buffs and stuff that Skarbrand gets. On top of that, campaign movement range plus 15% after winning a battle for all characters, which is kind of necessary if you want to maintain bloodletting, as it decays really quite quickly. Souls gained from sacrificing captives rather, plus 50%, a pretty big upgrade in terms of the number of souls gained, so I guess we'll be sacrificing the number of captives constantly. And then vassals all gain Frenzy and spread Khorne corruption. The Frenzy thing on vassals does seem quite good. It's a pretty darn strong buff, and for all of our vassal units to get it, could be really strong on certain factions in particular. Otherwise, Valkia gets a passive ability, the Gaze of Khorne, which actually by the looks of it seems quite weak. 4 leadership and 5% to weapon damage, armor piercing, and base? Huh. And the effect range is actually really small as well, 35 meters, so it's only basically 2 units that are beside Valkia or in a blob. I'm actually surprised. I do wonder if this effect is upgradable either by technologies or by Valkia's upgrade tree, or skill tree rather. We'll see, I guess. And then lastly, campaign movement range plus 35% after enemy retreats from battle. Well, gotta chase some jerks down, so why the hell not? How dare they run away? And that's about it. Let's go to settings. We're gonna go very hard, and oh, you know what? Before we get started, I'm gonna give the lore here a quick read, though once again, do feel free to skip via the timestamps. I'm just a sucker for Warhammer lore, and that's not gonna change. Valkia the Bloody. Valkia the Bloody rose to infamy as the merciless warrior queen of a great northern tribe, who cut down anyone who dared question her reign. By the time of her death, she had defeated countless minions of Khorne's brother gods, reaching the end of her mortal existence while on a journey of slaughter into the realm of chaos to pay tribute to her battle-hungry patron personally. The blood god raged at Valkia's passing, his fury so thunderous that it awoke her from death, and, taking her in his claws, he reforged the queen into a vision of destructive power. Well, let's see that destructive power get to work. All glory to the algorithm. Go.
After we water the earth with our enemy's blood, we will drink whatever's left.
You can always drink first. Alrighty, here we go, and we are starting way up north near an already existent faction, the Hmong, who are going to get vassalized when we take Dagrak's End by the looks of it. Since it's also a Chaos Warrior faction and I'm running Village at the same time, Valkia's faction should play somewhat similarly, with the concept of taking dark fortresses and forcing vassalized Norscan tribes to your banner as well, vassals. souls. And then, of course, Valkia's unique ability to have access to the bloodletting concept from the Khorne factions. Fun stuff. Although it looks like this has now been changed to give her authority, corruption, and unit experience. There isn't actually a significant debuff unless it's inactive, and that's just a unit experience debuff. I suppose the strong buffs with the Khorne authority will significantly reduce her upkeep costs, but otherwise this is fairly, it looks like fairly minimal. At least we don't suffer horrendously for not fighting, which is a little bit odd. But anyway, we also have Cormac here, who is going to have, what, Diabolic Splendor and... Oh, nice. Reforged for the Gorequeen, minus 50% souls cost to devote to Khorne. Diabolic Splendor is kind of meh. However, we can quickly just devote him to Khorne, and then this will change, unless I'm mistaken, together with all the points that we get back. So, yeah. Alright, you can join the Gorequeen's army. Now, let's just take a quick look. We'll jump into the first battle right after. I just want to see what she can do in terms of the unique chain of upgrades she has. So, diplomatic relations with Norska, lots of Vanguard deployment for warriors, Marauders, and Chosen. Vanguard deployment for herself as well. Vigor loss reduction minus 50 for Valkia. Physical resistance, a Wrath of Khorne explosion ability, probably necessary as she's a relatively small model and is probably liable to get stuck without significant mass. The explosion will probably help in that. Then we got Blood Raven, income from post-battle loot and income from raising settlements increased significantly. Interesting. May want to then upgrade that even further. Ooh, souls gained from battles plus 15%, eh? Interesting. And, well, we'll check that blue line out as well, as there may be a few things we want to get from here. At the very least, the 15% souls, though on the other hand, our other souls may be good. Anyway, Gore Feast will also give her regeneration and additional Khorne authority plus the demonic trait. Looks good to me. Now, let's get our first research going. Sacrificial Altar is the only choice, which is only gonna give us +1 Khorne authority for each active gift. And we can't do anything without Gifts of Chaos until we take a settlement. Okie dokie, let's jump into our first battle with Valkia then. I'm very excited for this one, especially once again since I haven't played Khorne yet. Alright, and we're obviously going to fight this first battle cinematically. Let's enjoy Valkia's absolutely incredible animations.
Remember, warriors, it matters not from whence the blood flows, only that it flows.
Alright, raising some good points there, Valkia, so here we go, our debut battle, and it's bound to be a pretty darn easy one, but it's the animations we're after. Also, I don't want to spoil too much, but while I know that this battle will be easy, towards the end of the episode, there's a pretty damn amazing battle coming, at least in my opinion, so it'll be exciting, let me just say that now. Anyway, we're gonna move in and around the enemy army, going to send in our Chaos Warriors of Khorne up front to take potential damage from the enemy ranged units and soak up those hits because they're more heavily armored than the Marauders of Khorne are, who are going to move in from the flanks and try to surround the enemy if possible. Otherwise, we're going to be moving in our Warhounds together with our single unit of Skull Crushers. We're also going to hit the enemy in the back, but prioritize ranged units and that sort of thing. Now, Valkia is going to drop in and go for the enemy Sorceress immediately, with the hopes of getting her off the field, though unfortunately it looks like the enemy will indeed react to that. Protecting their lord, unbelievable. Oh yeah. And as I said, Valkia's animations are just fan-frickin-tastic. I thought the Demon's animations were gonna be great, but yeah. And they are, don't get me wrong. But they really outdid themselves. Village's animations are great, Valkia's are great. Damn, now I just have to see Festus and Azazel's animation as well. Anyway, here we are. The battle is finally joined. Our Skull Crushers hitting the back of the enemy and our Marauders of Khorne getting ready to move in. Our Warhounds haven't had a chance to shine as yet, though they will shortly, I'm sure, as we try to chase down routing units. Otherwise, the enemy looks to be in pretty bad shape as its entire force is essentially trapped in one blob, and they're not going to get too much value out of their range units like this. Though the unfortunate thing is that the press of units has actually separated the Supreme Sorceress from Valkia, which will allow the Supreme Sorceress to continue using her Chill Wind ability, which is in a pretty good position here, as our units are pretty blobbed up. But oh well, what can you do? I do wish this map was a little bit less dark so that we can see more, but it's okay. And there we go, there's that Chill Wind coming in. I'm gonna move our Skull Crushers back just a little bit, and together with the Warhounds charge back in, just to take advantage of the cycle charging ability and the massive 77 charge bonus on those Skull Crushers. Actually should have backed them up a little bit, but looks like they got engaged by a unit that chased them down. Unfortunate, but what can you do? Our heroes also fighting in the middle of this together with Valkia here. And another Chill Wind moving through our forces, though it looks like that clipped the enemy force as well, so I can't complain too much if they're damaging themselves just as much. Otherwise, our Marauders are here, and the enemy is just trapped in a pile of Khorne units. This is probably not where the Dark Elves want to be. There we are. Really not much to say about this particular battle. Oh, Murderous Prowess, however, activates. Looks like the enemy's gonna get a brief second wind, at least, to continue fighting for a little while as yet. I'm gonna watch the battle from this angle, because it's, for some reason, the lighting allows us to see a little bit better here. There we go. Very nice. Jumping through. And how's that enemy lord looking? She's still fighting, but as long as Murderous Prowess happens, they're still gonna fight on a little bit. Oh, every hit from Valkia and everything goes flying everywhere. She has taken a little bit of damage here, though. She's nearly at half HP, which, to be fair, we did drop her right into the middle of the enemy forces. And she's not Scarbrand in the sense that she's not going to be nearly as tanky. Although she is plenty bloody. And there we go. Ooh, I like the little breath from the Juggernaut. And it looks like the light's gone out, and the light's gone out on the enemy army as well, because the Chain Rat is here, and they are done. There we go. Super easy fight. They had absolutely no chance, and our losses were pretty darn minimal, with the exception of the damage taken to Valkia herself, and I don't believe you, close victory. Also, we are in range of an enemy settlement, so no damage really matters here. Anyway. Alright, easy enough. It looks like most of the damage dealt by the enemy at 12k came from that Sorceress. Damn that Chill Wind. I think in the future we gotta make sure to try to isolate the enemy mage so that Valkia can kill them personally before they get surrounded by her... by their retinue and then protected from damage, because that probably made the battle a little bit longer. Although on the bright side, our Skull Crushers did nearly as much damage as the mage did, and Valkia did pretty okay considering that she was right in the center of everything at level 1. We're going to take, I guess, the money and the souls, because the healing... It would heal us to full, but we're about to take a province, so it won't matter. Also got an obsidian lodestone for our reward, which is kind of meh, but on the other hand, does kind of make sense for a Khorne unit in particular. Does Valkia have a base spell resistance at 45, so 25 base, eh? What's the base on regular Khorne units, 15? Yeah, looks like it. Okay, not horrible. Now, we have already leveled up. We probably want to get... Well, we'll start saving at level 9 or 8. Hearts of Iron and... Or wait, you know what? Maybe Root Marcher first? Just in case we don't level up after taking the... after taking Dagrak Send. Also, Cormac, you have only one choice. Blade Master. Okay, well that one was easy at least. Also, let's see if we can get some new units in here. And free Warhounds? Well, free. Let's get these.
I demand absolute
And I believe
fealty.
that's it. Let's also, while we're here, upgrade you to become a Coordinate Warrior. Might as well get another Marauder of Khorne.
A victory to
And we'll get a few
savor.
more regular Marauders and change them to dual weapon types as well. Not so much because we need the dual weapon types, as I just want the variety. Plus it's very appropriate for Khorne as well. Okie dokie.
Mistress
Valkia,
of Skulls.
time to take Dagrak's End. I don't imagine this will be too much trouble. I think this one we can fight manually. I think it'll be pretty easy, and I also think that we can fight better battles. However, before we do that, I just want to... Oh, wait, no. I was about to say I wanted to activate the Gifts of Chaos, but that's not going to be possible, so let's just fight it manually. And break through the city real quick. And then find some proper battles. Just gotta be careful about getting Valkia too damaged. Let's see how well she does fighting against a single isolated unit, if we can manage to do that. I suppose in this particular situation we're gonna have to rely on our faster moving units to take out those all of those dark shards, which are gonna be the main threat here. And Valkia can distract at least one unit herself. Okie dokie, so where are we gonna move into the city? Well, here is not horrible. There's quite a lot of free space here, though it'll be difficult to take continuous hits from the enemy here. I'm just seeing if there's a better position to attack them in, considering they'll just choke point it up either way. This has two ways to go. No, I think we're okay here. Let's start the battle. Let's put the doggos out here. You go here, and wait, no. You guys go through there. There you go. Valkia, move in. Warriors of Khorne, move in. Probably could have set that up a little bit more, but these battles are pretty trivial. So, ooh, tower. Okay, you guys group 3. Also attack. And you guys move in. Oh. I didn't realize that our Blood Crushers were, or Skull Crushers rather, were behind the units. It doesn't matter, they're gonna go around anyway. Not gonna change anything. And there we go.
Incidental.
I'm tempted to speed this up, because once again, the battle's trivial, but we'll see. Valkia, how are you at killing towers? 3742. Huh. She just attacked and didn't do no damage, huh? Does she suffer from the same bug where you have to keep moving her away? Maybe. 3342. We might need to get some Furies of Khorne in. Alright, there we go. A little bit more damage. You know what? I think we're better off just having her attack Dark Shards instead, while the blob all moves in. Looks like some Dread Spears are blocking this, but that's okay. Our Dire Doggos can go around, or our Chaos Warhounds, rather. Alrighty, let's just jump in. Ew, Warriors of Khorne try to go after those Dark Shards. Everybody, what the heck is the AI doing?
Exalted hero, Warriors of Khorne!
What is this? Alright, well, let's just move like that, and you guys can unblob yourself then. Alright, Valkia's in. It looks like they're going to try to support, but I think they've already screwed themselves over, essentially. Poor AI. Alright, everybody move. And Skull Crushers. You shouldn't have too much trouble killing Dread Spears, but we can help you with some Warhounds as well. Valkia's fighting, but she's about to be joined with some Marauders. Cormac's leading from the front, so let's get some more Marauders in there, move past the battle lines. And once everybody's engaged, we'll just tell everybody to move. Hey, the Dark Shards are running away. Okay, Valkia, move out of the press. Let the Marauders distract the Bleak Swords and go after the range units. You go after these other ranged units. You guys just overrun everything. Move around, try to go after those Dark Shards if y'all can. Cormac, try to kill the enemy Lord. Oh wait, that's a Bleak Sword, so it's not, I guess, technically a Lord. Okay, good, Valkia's out. And Doggos, help out with this. In fact, maybe I should have ran the doggos through, but I think those dread spears are pretty much dead anyway, so we can charge these skull crushers in. And good. All those ranged units distracted. You turn and kill those dark shards then. Alright, beautiful. Battle should be over very shortly, and then we'll find a proper one afterwards. Good. Good. And I would imagine that Valkia is going to heal up after this. Hey, no. Keep fighting the dark shards. I know you're getting distracted by bleak swords. And let's have you guys attack here. Why are you asleep? I'm not asleep. If I can see one of your units fighting. Why must you lie, Chaos Warriors of Khorne? I appreciate that. Alrighty. And Valkia is still giving chase. How's those dark dread spears, rather? Alright, you know what? Let's just charge the dark shards and ignore these dread spears then. And you're engaged, you're engaged. You guys have gone around the enemy. The enemy lord is just about done. The enemy bleak swords are overrun. And the battle should end in a few seconds. They have their murderous prowess up and running, but it ain't gonna matter. And the doggos have killed the dread spears, who have actually held on a decent amount of time, so good job to them. Yeah, after starting Village, I know how trivial these early battles are, because we generally heal enough. Some factions don't really heal enough right away, and they have problems when their early game units are damaged. I encountered that with I believe, Nurgle in my Kugath campaign. I assume that's not to do with SFO. I suppose there could have been the mod could have changed something, but yeah, I was a little bit wary of it, but I don't think that the same thing is true of the Chaos Warriors. Especially would be weird if it was true of the Khornate faction, in particular. And there's the victory. Alright, easy enough.
For the kill.
Probably could have sped through that, as I said. Now, let's see about building some stuff. Ooh, I'm excited to see what the different Khornate Gifts of Chaos are going to allow us to do. We also should probably get the... Assuming that the undivided Gifts of Chaos are the same for everybody, and why wouldn't they be, we should get that Stone Shatter thing that will give us missile resistance, which is going to be pretty critical against the armor-piercing Dark Shards of the Druki, as well as the ability to break through walls. Now, granted, Valkia is going to be able to go up on top of walls and kill things up there, but... And what do we have here? Passive ability, Bronze Armor of Jrak. Physical resistance 5, augment, immune to contact effects. Entities with this attribute ignore the effects of enemy contact effects such as poison. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Alright, well, free armor's free armor. And occupy and vassalize for 500 souls, not horrible.
You are my people now.
There we go. You are my people now. That's so wholesome. Let's see, raid trophies and corpse mound. Yeah, let's start building up those immediately. Oh, we could also get a military chain building for Marauders of Khorne, but I think we're not going to stick around here for more than a turn. And yeah, we're healing quite nicely, so presuming that we move to the edge of our lands, which is... oh, it's down here. To attack that. Oh. Warband recruitment, So if we move here, we could recruit more stuff, right? Interesting. Hey, and we got a free bloodletters, though I guess we'll get that in our army in another turn. Mostly because it'll take money right now. Let's also get those Gifts of Chaos unlocked. Ruinous Bulwark, that's the one that I was talking about. Incidentally, my favorite kind of bulwark. Missile resistance 15 and then that Shatterstone ability. Super useful. On the other hand, we could also increase our casualty replenishment rate and melee attack for regular Marauders. We will be using quite a lot of Marauders in the early game, I would imagine. Though that doesn't do anything for our Chaos Warriors of Khorne. I would imagine that this applies to Marauders of Khorne as well, not just regular Marauders. The thing is it as good as the Ruinous Bulwark for the Shatterstone ability? I mean... it's probably as good until you hit the, until you hit a walled location.
that woman.
You know what? I'm gonna try the other one. Even though I feel like Ruinous Bulwark is better, we can always switch. And I also feel like perhaps this would... I want to do something a little bit different from the village campaign. So we'll try Raider's Raiment first, and then we'll switch it out. I just want to double check that it actually works. So melee attack plus 8, Marauder, melee attack 36. Now it's at 44. Alright, so that does indeed work, and it'll be even more nice on the other units, i.e. the Hearts of Iron. For the Vigor loss reduction, i.e. on the Dual Axe units. Lovely. Okie dokie. Gifted units will get you in there. We will not recruit anymore for our warband. We will, however, get a commandment going. Recruitment cost reduction. Melee defense, enemy hero success chance. Control reduction, but construction cost for all buildings. And construction cost reduction and Khorne corruption. Now let's get that Khorne corruption up and running. Which will increase our melee attack for Khorne units. And Vigor loss reduction. Swell. They just want to keep fighting. Now we also have one of these. Ooh, Hellish Bite. Income from post-battle loot and income from raising settlements. Ooh, nice. Alright, so basically we use Hellish Bite early on to get as many flesh hounds as possible. At least 2, maybe 4. And then we switch out to the raising and stuff for the extra cash, right? I guess we could get some bloodletters as well. Though, we probably would rather have the Chaos Warriors of Khorne than the Bloodletters. We just have to make sure... Forsaken, do we actually have to upgrade, or can we naturally upgrade to Chaos Warriors of Khorne? Chaos Chariots, you know what? Let's double check. Just in case. You, Warband upgrade. To Chaos Warriors of Khorne. Okay, no, there isn't a tech. Beautiful. So we can go straight to the Chaos Warriors of Khorne. Yeah. Alright, looks good to me. Let's end the turn. Since we also just vassalized this faction, we may be able to start trading with them. Assuming that Valkia's faction can trade at all. Because she's a Warriors of Chaos faction and Village can trade, I would imagine that she can. I'm just thinking about the other demon factions like Scarbrand and stuff who couldn't trade. Alright, there we go. Ally begins construction. Now, you... Yes, you can trade. Beautiful. Balance offer. Next? Give us money. Why not? Alright, I imagine he's going to start taking free territories all the way down here. We probably can't order him to take them directly. No, because we don't have the allegiance for it as yet. Ooh, I do wonder if he has a mission for us, though. Ally missions. Morgula. Accept mission. Sure. I don't know who that is, but we'll find him. We'll kill him. Lovely. Now, are you able to continue getting warband recruitment? Not here, as yet.
The Gorequeen.
You could move into here to get a little bit of extra stuff, but I think we just move towards the enemy. Let's just move into march stance all the way down. It's not like we need to recruit here.
Reforged for murder.
Although, well, we could get these up and running next turn so we don't waste the money right now. So yeah, go here, march stance. And 1 battle victory required for this level. Progress will decay unless a battle is fought this turn. Yeah, these things decay really fast, don't they? Alright, and then we'll hit Ashrak next turn. And I believe that's it for this turn. Quite a short one. Oh, Cormac gets an upgrade, though. At least we get something. Huh. Training. You know, funnily enough, training is relatively useless, but... for the Chaos Warbands, it might actually have some uses, although 20 XP per turn. Let's see.
Snow will never be a barrier
to go from rank 2 to rank 3, you need 432. Yeah, honestly, 20 extra XP per turn is basically nothing past rank 2. So it probably would still be pointless. I'm tempted, but not so tempted. Let's get hard to hit because your melee defense is quite low, Mr. Exalted Hero. Then let's end the turn, let's hit Ashrak. I imagine there will be another big cinematic battle as we try to take the capital of Grand, which is Grand.
Even here, Khorne's fury is red hot.
Alrighty, we are indeed in range of Ashrak. Let's... ooh, we can get a Marauder... Huh. Are there Marauder Horsemen of Khorne? Okay, I guess we're about to find out. Let's get You know what? I don't want the other Warhound. I'd rather have Fleshhounds. Warhounds are a little bit too fragile. So let's get the Bloodletters. Let's get the Fleshhounds. Then I want to see, are you upgradable? Where is the Warbands upgrades? Down here. To Khorne? Yes, you are. Beautiful. We can get Marauder Horsemen of Khorne. And we don't need tech, or at least we don't need tech that we don't have. Lovely. And these guys can go into Chariots or into Chaos Knights, though it does look like Chaos Warriors of Khorne can also go into becoming Knights. So we don't just need a giant pile of these. Too bad that you can't upgrade Chaos Warhounds into Fleshhounds. Wouldn't Khorne ascend a particularly vicious doggo to become an even more vicious demon doggo? Why not? Alrighty, and I guess we are ready to go here for Ashrak. Yes, yes.
Behold my wrath.
And I don't see the... Oh, we can just auto-resolve this one. I don't see the sign that will allow us to give this to our ally. I imagine that we can just regularly occupy it, but we get a lot of bonuses from raising stuff, so maybe we raise this one first, and then we'll get some other stuff after. Ooh, also, wait. Are we able to get more Warband recruitment here? Another Chaos Marauder. Why not? It's not like we need the money for anything right now. The bigger army we have, the easier it'll be to attack Khorne in a huge battle. Let's also auto-resolve this, because that's not worth fighting. So wow, you guys still managed to take a lot of damage. And then we'll raise the place. Decent amount of souls, though the money is a little bit weak, but that's what the Gifts of Chaos are for. And ooh, an Armor of Fortune, very nice pick. Valkia, where the hell did you go? Oh wow, she... Huh. Is that a coincidence, or... Because she returned back to our home province.
Consort of Khorne.
But she also went really far to do that.
Test your might.
Interesting. We can increase the XP and character XP per turn by using combat trials, so it does cause attrition, so it's not worthwhile right now. The ward save is really good, though. And now I'm wondering whether we go for the ward save armor or keep the bronze armor of Zrak. We don't really benefit from the regular armor that much, but you know what? Yeah, I think we do that. Though contact effects can still be worrying. Well, let's give the bronze armor to you, friendo. And then let's upgrade Valkia a little bit more. Now, in terms of what we want to do, I think we want to go straight into Chaos Vanguard for melee attack and armor for our infantry, because, well, we're going to be using a lot of infantry. Then we'll probably want to grab the spoilers, and then obviously, once again, at rank 8 or 9, start saving the points for her unique line.
Greater killing ability.
Otherwise, it looks good. Do we have any warband recruitment here? And just dire doggos, and no fleshhounds as yet, though I'm waiting on them. Let's end the turn, and let's proceed to Grand. Alright, looks like nothing's happening. The settlements here seem to be a little bit further away from each other than they do at the other edge of the map for Village. I guess we're also going to get Scrutiny of the Gods for unit experience for Marauders, since we need them to be upgraded into... Ooh. Mortal Brutality, though, gives us Path to Glory minus 25% souls cost to upgrade to our Devotion to Khorne. So we could do this to further reduce the cost of your Ascension. And then get that really early. You know what, I kind of like that idea.
Gorequeen.
I kind of like it, so we're going to move forward. Another Fleshhound, beautiful. Now we got 2 Fleshhounds and plenty of units. You, my friend, also need to get some dual axes. What is this one axe? It's absolute garbage.
Like a savage animal.
There you go.
Khorne's awakened.
Wait, is Garan the only settlement here? Or is there another one? I feel like there's a... Just remembering my Dark Elf geography, there's a great arena here, yes. And what is here? That's Nagaron. You know what? We're gonna march stance.
Your feet should bleed.
We want to be able to reach Garan, so let's do this. Ah, the Chill Road is here. Okay, okay, I'm not crazy. It's not just the Great Arena. Ashrak, Chill Road, Grand, and Malekith is really nearby. I do wonder how he feels about us. Probably not well, since in the Lord the Dark Elves have the Northern Watchtowers. These things, their own little A little version of the Great Bastion, I guess, to keep the Chaos Warriors out. Anyway, we'll end the turn, then we'll hit the Chill Road, and then go for Grand afterwards. I guess we could have healed up a little bit more, but that's probably not in Valkia's nature. Alright, a little tiny army here, but probably not any kind of threat. You know what we should try? We should also try taking a settlement over.
Hetwoman.
Just for ourselves. I want to see if it has the same kind of upgrades that village does that increase the post-battle loot and stuff around everything, because we're probably going to be fighting around here for quite a while. Also, could you please take some stuff? Occupy Altar of Ultimate Dark... No, it's full of Skaven. Okay, occupy the Glacial Gardens. There you go. And then I guess we tell them to go after Ashrak as well. Now, you, head into the Chill Road. It looks like they built a single unit, and yes, that's the cinematic battle. This one looks like we're gonna get an auto-resolve again here. But this one looks to be quite decently defended. Lovely. So, what we'll do is we will auto-resolve you. A little bit of damage, but I don't expect they'll attack us. And then we're gonna occupy the place. This will help us heal quite a bit. In addition to, I want to see what this will give us. Cormac's at rank 4 and got a Chaos Steed, and a garbage little warband camp that provides a tiny garrison. Warband upgrade costs minus 20% for all units. Casualty replenishment rate and Winds of Magic change, and unlocks recruitment of Chaos Sorcerers, as well as income from post-battle loot in magic item drop chance and soul gaze. Yeah, this is the one I was talking about. So what we can do is fight with this here, and then later on just gift this to our other, to our allied faction. We also should go up north here towards the Palace of Princes and stuff, as I would think that there should be another tribe out there somewhere. At least I would imagine. So, now,
Sword Maiden of the Blood God.
Let's take Grand, shall we? Next turn, though, unfortunately. Though we do have the Flesh Hounds, and I'm not really worried about this. Should be a nice fight. Building upgrade available for Dagrak's End. You have the construction cost reduction, so let's upgrade you. How are our souls looking? Pretty okay. Also, I'm now thinking if we're going to break through the gate, would we be a lot better off to just switch out to Ruinous Bulwark? Maybe I kind of regret going for Raider's Raiment if we're going through these locations anyway. Oh wow, they want to peace out, that's funny. Huh. What if we just go straight for Malekith after piecing out with these guys? Minus 31 for vassalage. What? Huh. Huh. I wonder, if we were to take another settlement, would we be able to vassalize a Dark Elf faction? It would be nice to be able to build an outpost with them. Certainly something to think about. You know what, let's go to the next turn for a second here. They appreciate us giving them a settlement. What if we siege this? Okay, I have an idea. Siege Grand, maybe force them into a field battle, as they probably wouldn't appreciate the siege. Then destroy them on the field, and then try to vassalize them by giving them back the Chill Road. I don't know if that'll work, but, well, we're about to find out. Let's get another point in Chaos Vanguard for you, Valkia. Then let's have Cormac get another point in Hard to Hit. Actually, no, you're gonna get a point in Training. Why? Because we're about to devote you to Khorne anyway, so that means you're gonna lose all your points, so you actually get a little bit of value of that. Nice. And anything else we want to get? Nope, looks like we're good. Knights of the Brazen Throne, oh, we get another Skull Crushers at level 10? Very nice. That'll be really useful. I want another Marauder Horseman, though. So just to check. He's 35. Vassalize. Trade Settlement. Chill Road. They're actually willing to do this, so we just straight up attack Nagaron, then. They could probably be allies, but they're probably also... Huh. Now I'm wondering if we can vassalize Nagaron. Wow, I wasn't expecting this. This is gonna completely change the power dynamics of everything here if we just destroy Malekith and all these factions straight up. It's very interesting. Alrighty, well, regardless, peace treaty. become vassal, trade settlement, the chill road, and give us money while you're at it. Why the heck not?
I will.
There you go. Free Grand vassal. Nice. I don't know how effective this is gonna be, but while it'll mean more vassal tribute, they don't like the military actions against Grand, but they do like the treaties. Our Hmong allies also don't care about this. And why should they? They should have no, they have no ability to go into politics or diplomacy, rather. So they shouldn't, in theory, care, but sometimes they do. Now, Nagaron. Alright, well, if we weren't going to get a cinematic battle here, we'll get one here. Let's move you up as close as we can get. And get ready to attack you. Ooh, can you go into raiding stance without penalty? No, you can't. Damn. Bit of a shame. Oh well. To Nagaron we go. Now, Nagaron isn't a dark fortress, interestingly enough. How much is it worth to sack it? 2.4k. What's the likelihood that you're going to get vassalized? How many provinces do you have, Malekith? Just the 2, so just Harganeth and Nagaron. Man, this is bizarre, taking out Malekith so early. I guess Marathi will have to do all the work for the Dark Elves. Alright, let's just sit here for now. We will not want to suffer attrition here, because this will be a battle. Alright, let's end the turn. And we'll see. Hopefully these guys don't immediately just secede. I would hope that the military actions dissipate. And these guys are going to retake Ashrak, which is appropriate. And then, wait, since they're vassals, aren't we able to... Hello, what is this? I'll get back to my thought later. Authority questioned. Unruly vassals have risen to question your might. Should you put on a demonstration of strength or challenge them directly? Overpowering foe tribute from vassals, probably irrelevant as it would be too minor at this stage in the game. Unbridled ferocity gives us extra leadership and control faction-wide. Definitely that. A set of brutal executions shall make it known that you are not to be taken for granted. Alrighty. And, oh, you've moved outside of the field. We can take this in a massive field battle. Probably going to be a tough one, though, because considering the number of units there. But looks damn well enjoyable. Alrighty. Now, is there anything we need to prepare for this? Gifted units. Let's take another Marauder.
Snow will never be a barrier to war.
Let's take another Fleshhound. And I guess another regular Warhound, mostly just to round out the army. Lovely, now we have a full stack. Then we want to upgrade this Marauder to...
Blood so easily stains the snow.
The Marauders of Khorne with dual weapons, yes. And wait, I keep forgetting that you can't upgrade Chaos Warhounds to Fleshhounds. Alrighty, looks like it's time to fight Malekith. Glorious. Let's have you attack this unit. The other army will come in as reinforcements. And I think that's fine. Wait, are you at war with anybody we want to be friends with? Clan Septic. You know, there may be some use in befriending some Skaven factions in terms of building an outpost. I just also want to double check that Grand doesn't have any kind of
what could you possibly have?
Ally mission for us. No, we don't. We can build the outpost, though, and I guess we should. And build it directly at Grand, because it's their best defended settlement, although 3,000 money... It's a little bit prohibitive right now. Let's fight Nagaron first. And declare war. And allies' attitude towards Grief. We have Hmong and Grand. Go. Looks like the Grand faction did not secede. Beautiful. Alrighty, Pyrrhic victory, casualties high. This is gonna be a great time. They also have 3 shades, which we really need to try to destroy early in the battle, so that they don't join their prowess to the rest of the enemy forces. I'm excited. Let's get to it.
After we water the earth with our enemy's blood, we will drink whatever's left.
Alrighty, here we go, the battle that you've all been waiting for in this first episode. So damn many enemy units, 5 units of Shades in the early game, a good 6 units of Dark Shards, 2 enemy Lords, and basically a full stack of Bleak Swords and Dread Spears at that. Pretty damn decent amount of enemy units for an early game battle. Now, we are going to try to deplete the first of the enemy armies, the one that we hit outside the garrison, as fast as we can. We move Valkia in first to identify the Shades because of their stalk ability, so that we can then hit them with our various fast-moving units like our brand new Fleshhounds, our Skull Crushers, our Marauder Horsemen, and then whatever else catches up to them in terms of our troops. In fact, we're only going to be using our relatively fast-moving Marauders to go in, who, by the way, 60 melee attack right now with that buff, pretty damn solid. And the rest of our force is going to set up back here in anticipation of the main enemy 2 armies. Alrighty. Here we go. Let's start on these Shades with our Fleshhounds, shall we? Oh man, why would you turn your back to Fleshhounds? That seems like a terrible idea, Shades. They really wanted to use that skirmish mode. Alrighty, well, they're engaged now. Valkia is chasing another full unit around while the Skull Crushers are also trying to get further units, as led by our Cormac Exalted Hero as well. Ah, love these models. There we go. And now they get sandwiched between some Warhounds of Khorne as well as those Skull Crushers and are getting absolutely ripped apart here. Valkia flying overhead in search of the enemy Lord now that all the Shades are distracted. It looks like the first unit has been destroyed. Valkia has landed on top of the enemy Lord. And yeah, looks like this first army is just about dead. And here come those Marauders of Khorne with their burning, or Marauders of Khorne, Marauder Horsemen of Khorne with those burning throwing axes. I kind of like the model. Makes them nice to see, especially in this dark map. It's like fireworks. And I gotta love the units that give us a night light show that is like fireworks. One of the reasons I really love the Salamander units. They're just so fun to watch. Can't wait to get a few more of those Marauder Horsemen into our army. Anyway, Valkia is destroying the enemy Lord, who's now at about, what, 75% HP, where Valkia is unharmed. Our Doggos and our Marauders are cleaning up the rest of those poor Shades, while the enemy Lord is now surrounded by our Skull Crushers, our hero, as well as Valkia. Though I suppose from a lore perspective, it's unlikely that they would actually interfere with a duel like this. I love all those drop-down animations for the winged units. Scarbrand and the Bloodthirsters have the exact same animation, and it's great. And I do believe the enemy Lord should be routing any second now. Shaken, their army is destroyed. They're also tired because this army was caught out here with a march stance, wasn't it? I would have loved to watch this duel between the Dreadlord and Valkia here, but I feel like we need to maintain as much HP as possible, so this army needs to be destroyed, and our units and our HP needs to be preserved. Otherwise, the reinforcements are coming in a absolutely massive column that, ooh, now is gonna separate. It's actually a pretty cool shot. I like that. Man, imagine if we had had a spellcaster to hit all of those as they come in. In my Kairos campaign, I really love doing that with Kairos, moving in, waiting for the reinforcements to come in, and then just a massive amount of pink and blue fire into them to very badly maul them before they even join the fray. Now, we're actually going to let the enemy form up here, not going to charge them immediately. Let's get a proper battle out of this, shall we? I'll let them make their lines, we'll make our lines, and then the battle lines will collide. How's that enemy Lord looking, by the way? Still in there. Though not for much longer, I would imagine. And down she goes, perhaps? No? Close. One more kid, 124 HP. Yeah, I think the problem is the Skull Crushers knock these smaller units around, so the Dreadlord just keeps dropping to the ground and gets in brief invulnerability from that. Getting up again. Not to worry though, it's going to take a while for the enemy army to form up, and we also want to rest some of our doggos. These guys are no longer engaged, and I want the tiredness to all become fresh on these guys. These 4 are good, though these ones are still winded, so maybe we'll give them a chance to rest briefly. Alrighty, down goes the enemy lord, and now our skull crushers and the rest of our force are going to move into position. Here we go. Oh, this is going to be fun. Although I'm willing to bet the enemy really could have used those extra 3 units of shades. Let's speed this up a little bit while the 2 armies get themselves into their proper positions. We're also going to move a couple of units to the back of the enemy line through this little gap. It seems like the AI wants to close the gap here with this cliff, which would have actually been a really smart move. The AI needs to be programmed to make use of terrain a little bit better. Currently, I think the only programming it has is to deal with hills, so the AI does like to take hill positions, especially when it's on the defensive, at least in deployment. But it doesn't seem to make a good use of cliff sides and impassable terrain and objects and all that sort of stuff, so I do think that they need to work on that in the future. Anyway, let's speed it back up while the enemy just sort of mills around and gets into whatever position they want. I think they're responding to the fact that we're moving several units away, so they need to reposition in order to deal with all of our warhounds. Obviously, our massive number of war and flesh hounds are going to go after the dark shards, while our infantry tie up, well, the enemy infantry. Here we go. Valkia's already in. She's just distracting some enemies, mostly getting a few extra hits in there. Chaos Warriors of Khorne also hit for 55, so very close to that of the Marauders of Khorne. And there we are. These Dark Shards really shouldn't have been left out here alone, because they're going to get ripped apart by those Warriors of Khorne's axes. And this unit will probably break very shortly. Otherwise, looks like we're getting ready to move in on those Dark Shards in the back lines. Valkia's hovering overhead. Ooh, we got some fireworks coming in right before the Warhounds hit the enemy Dark Shards in the back, and Valkia drops in to help out as well. Very nice. Very nice. Looks like we got a Flock of Doom coming down on our Warhounds. That is definitely going to hurt, and not something that we want because the Warhounds are fairly fragile. Although that single charge between those 2 units did essentially break that Dark Shard unit immediately. Otherwise, more of our Warhounds are getting ready to move in, so we should be able to tie those guys up. Our Exalted Hero and our Skull Crushers have moved into these Dread Spears and have tied up another unit of Shades, and the Bloodletters are moving in to help out with that as well. The rest of our force is still trying to break through, and we do have a few gaps that have opened up in the line, which we're going to try to make use of to try to hit a few of these enemy forces in the back. We are horribly outnumbered in this portion, with only 2 Marauders of Khorne trying to hold off the, 5 units, 3 Bleak Swords, 2 Dread Spears. Although in terms of stats, our melee defense may be low, but look at that melee attack. 61, double that of Dread Spears, and 1.5 times that of the Bleak Swords. We also have our Berserkers. This is their first round. Well, I guess Marauders of Khorne with dual weapons, but it does say Berserker Infantry. So they can have some fun as well. Especially since they will be changed to Marauders, or not Marauders, to Chaos Warriors relatively quickly. Now, these guys do go down fairly quickly as well, mostly because, well, their melee defense is terrible. Probably shouldn't be using them like this, as opposed to having the Chaos Warriors of Khorne take the brunt of the damage while these guys hit enemies in the back. But to be fair, we don't have enough of those units. And here we go, getting some of those fireworks. We set up our unit of Marauder Horsemen to hit the enemy in the back with their throwing axes, which are also cheap armor piercing. And just like that, of the cheap armor piercing of the enemy, Dark Shards. And there we go. Damn, Murderous Prowess activated already. Looks like a decent amount of casualties has been taken, the enemy having lost about a third of their army already. We've also engaged with all of our Warhounds now, distracting and preventing all of the Dark Shards in the back lines from firing, although they are getting support from a couple units of Dread Spears, which is starting to do damage to some of our Fleshhounds. Valkia is now, however, getting supported by the Skull Crushers, which are unfortunately exhausted, but they should still be able to take care of these basic units without too much trouble. The Bloodletters have also absolutely ripped those Dread Spears apart and are moving in to help with the center line, led again by that Exalted Hero. A few of the extra other units that were in the main center line have broken, and we are trying to chase them around and kill them with Warhounds as we can, and then those units that broke through the gap, as we can see, have helped out by surrounding additional enemies. And this is a more proper use for our Marauders with dual axes. We should have had them go here and hit these guys in the back while they were pressed against the Chaos Warriors of Khorne, which are holding the line. Ah, man, it's so appropriate to see all these Khornate units actually covered in blood as they fight.
This fight is not...
It just felt so wrong before. Alrighty, well done everybody. The line is holding, though we're having a little bit of a tough time with our basic Marauders of Khorne. As we can see, their melee defense is just a little bit too low, and they're getting kind of ripped apart even where they're surrounding the enemy, and especially with that Murderous Prowess up and running. Though I gotta point out that even with Murderous Prowess up, the enemy still does not have enough melee attack compared to the Khornate units, which, you know, is fair. The enemy lord has tried to leave the press, but Cormac has hunted him down. Did I call Cormac Egrim before? I meant Cormac. Ooh, wow, okay, you just went to cross the field, and you are still alive, getting one more cast of a Flock of Doom out before getting ridden down. Well done. Over on this side, our Berserkers, together with the help of some Fleshhounds and Warhounds, as well as those Marauder Horsemen, have destroyed the units of Bleak Swords and Dread Spears, and are getting ready to move back into the fray to support the Marauders that are breaking over on this side. Valkia and the massive numbers of Flesh and Warhounds, plus our Skull Crushers and our single unit of Bloodletters, have done a pretty good job here. The entire enemy ranged line has been sandwiched between all these units the entire time, and they remain there, unable to provide all that ranged support. Every one of you is a good doggo. You all get pets. Every single one of you. We're gonna stay here for an entire hour and I'm gonna pet every doggo, okay. Oh, and I guess we should probably try to pat the Juggernauts as well. Alrighty, looks like their center is just about broken, and in fact, the entire army has decided that they want to know more. With the enemy lord having fallen, and then our units that have won moving into the fray to back up those other units, it looks like the morale shock was far too much. Army losses combined with the death of their lord, and I suppose lords, considering the other army, to end this. Let's see what we've lost. A little under half of our troops. Not too bad. I mean, the trade-off is pretty big. 3,100 enemies for an early game battle. Pretty damn decent, especially considering that these are elves with their relatively low unit numbers as compared to, like, Skaven or something. Only 90 Dark Shards in a group, for example. Anyway, we still have a lot of work to do in this particular battle. Specifically, we need to chase down and kill everything in sight as possible. The enemy garrison and the enemy stack was in Nagaron, so every single unit that survives this is going to still be there and will then need to be destroyed via siege, which would be kind of unfortunate. Fortunately, though, we have all of our Fleshhounds and our Warhounds, and they should be able to destroy quite a lot. I think one of the slightly unfortunate things about Valkia is that her model is relatively small, so that when in the press like this, she's a little bit difficult to see. But I suppose the same thing goes for Vlad and the like. At least she has the wings to be able to easily spot her. And plus she has that animation where she flies up into the air and then slams back down, whereas Vlad doesn't have that, benefit, unfortunately. Ooh, that's a nice animation. Alrighty, well, the rest of this is just chasing off routing troops, so we're just gonna speed up through the rest of this. Our Warhounds still have a lot of work ahead of them. Warhound/Fleshhounds. Gonna be curious to see how many kills each of them get after this. Though I suppose, since most of the kills on the Warhounds, or at least many of the kills, I should say, on the Warhounds will be after the battle is over, it's gonna be difficult to judge. As to battle performance, I mean. Though clearly the Fleshhounds did pretty darn well, it was mostly the Fleshhounds tanking the enemy when we were fighting in the center blob around Valkia and the Skull Crushers there. Also, I'm fairly impressed with the Marauders of Khorne with dual axes who managed to survive and dish out damage, though they did have support, unlike the Marauders that were in the main line who got kind of ripped apart. Anyway, a Pyrrhic victory, but that's the kind of victory Khorne loves, and I'm sure the Gorequeen does as well. Let's see the damage, and let's see how many enemy armies, or units rather, survived, whether they are still viable to defend Naggarond. Ooh, nearly 3,000 Dark Elves slain. Certainly a first battle, proper battle, I should say, worthy of the Gorequeen. Now, we could heal up to full, but to be honest, there's not really anything left in the garrison, so I think we can just freely take the souls, which will allow us to upgrade our exalted hero. Let's sacrifice those captives.
Accept death.
Absolutely lovely. And then, path to glory, yada 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 yada. The garrison has 2 units. Now here's the question. Will Naggarond vassalize? Let's siege the settlement. And let's see. Otherwise, there's potential for taking Naggarond itself, and then doing the exact same thing where we... Okay, you won't even peace out, Malekith, because he still has his main stack around somewhere, I imagine in the Hag here. Maybe if we take Naggarond and then destroy that stack, and then offer to trade him back Naggarond for vassalage. This is gonna be interesting. This is gonna be very interesting. I'm curious to see how this will all work out. Lovely. Oh, and they actually like, they like the treaties with, or the attack on Naggarond. I wonder how they'll feel when if we manage to vassalize Naggarond. Well, either way, I think we want to... we have to spend a turn here sieging, so Malekith might come back and fight us in the field. You don't have the siege attacker trait, and it looks like Skull Crushers don't count for being able to break through the gate. Damn. Okay, that means we have to get a monster in here as soon as possible. Troll would be helpful. We could get another Marauder Horseman as well. Now I'm not sure who we take out. The Marauder Horsemen were quite helpful in that particular battle. But then the Warhounds really cleaned house. Also, you're able... Wait, are you immediately able to upgrade yourself to a Chaos Warrior? Yes, you are. Wait, no, you're a Marauder, rather. Marauder... they're not at rank 5 yet, damn. Getting there. What rank do you need to be to get chosen? Rank 7. Okay. Well, on that note, I guess we're going to... Wait, Chaos Vanguard for you. More upgrades. Now, what could we possibly upgrade here? Demonic units, charge bonus for demonic cavalry, Warbeast monstrous, and non-demonic missile cavalry and artillery. So Chaos Vanguard is the only infantry upgrade one, and that's the main one we're gonna get. Now, does Valkia have any particular upgrades for any particular type of units? Doesn't look like it, unfortunately. So I guess then we start building her out to be... Oh, actually, you know what? She's at rank 9. So let's say here. Then 10, 11, 12. Okay, so we'll just save the rest of the points to get Sword Maiden of Khorne. And then we'll start building her out to be a fighter. We don't really need the rank 7 stuff for a while, as it'll be some time before we get the XP. Though we can now... No, actually, next turn, upgrade this. Alright, fine. Let's take one more turn. I do want to see if Malekith's going to come for us here. Would be interesting considering how hurt we are, but also depends on what kind of army he has. Let's get Chaos Commander briefly, if this is all going to disappear anyway. Just in case we have to fight. And let's get hard to... You know what? Now, one more turn of XP. I guess we could get Chaos Strategist for an additional 50 XP, but I feel like Chaos Commander, just in case, might come in clutch if we fight Malekith next turn. Alright, Path to Glory available. Oh, we're aware. Though, I just want to see if he activated anything new. He did get Master of Massacre, melee attack +5, and weapon strength +5, although the rest of the stuff isn't super relevant right now. Let's end the turn. Let's see if Malekith comes near to try to take back his home. No, he's all the way back here. He's not gonna get here in time. Oh, you poor thing, Malekith. You poor thing. In fact, here's a question. Oh, look, our allies are here. Huh. I wonder how far Malekith is right now. Whoa, quest issue, the Scarlet Armor, ward save, Khorne Corruption Armor, and what is this? A base weapon damage and armor piercing weapon damage, so it's a debuff. Okay. We'll give this a read when we... Well, actually... We can give this a read now. Every battle is a chance for glory, and every victory a sign of the Blood God's inescapable dominance. Sweep down upon the battlefield with blazing rage in your heart, to vanquish the enemies of Khorne and anoint yourself with their blood. I assumed that this was a quest, but no, it looks like it's a regular thing. There we go, we got that Mortal Brutality up and running, which means... we can now go Scrutiny of the Dark Gods for that Marauder XP that we do need. Then the question is... No, okay, I was wondering whether we could reach Malekith in a single round, but alas, we cannot. I just want to double check... No, he's not going to vassalize. At least not right now. Main factions may not want to vassalize in general. Also, have you guys not retaken Ashrak yet? You really need to reclaim that to make your province full. Come on, guys, what are you doing? And Ashrak is not a dark fortress, is it? Huh, why is it like this? Why is it like big? Weird. Because all of the other ones are small. Maybe, huh. Could Ashrak possibly be a dark fortress but doesn't have the symbol on it? Because this is 4, and this is 4. Weird. You know what? Maybe we'll take it ourselves and then we will try to gift it back to our ally, just to see if it's a buggy thing. Either way, we're going to auto-resolve this one, decisive victory especially with our allies here. And then...
For the Blood God!
Yeah. Few losses, but that's okay. Then, we are going to sack the place, because it's a decent amount of cash, and then I guess we'll occupy it immediately after. Yes, so that we have something to trade. Sack, and oh, it still has walls up, but they should still be breached, so we can occupy it immediately. Beautiful. This will allow us to heal up. I don't know whether Malekith will come here, but we'll see. He's kind of in a bad position because there are Skaven nearby him and stuff going on, and oh, huh, maybe there's a port here. Interesting. It increases the growth, but otherwise it doesn't do much. Let's repair the place, although, wow, the cost to repair is insane. Peace. Trade settlement, Nagaron. Become vassal. Okay, no, not yet, but if we destroy Malekith's main army, and we sieged Hag Grief, maybe then he'd be willing to do this. Would be nice to have him as a vassal as well. Unfortunately, I think we're out of time, so I think we'll have to leave that concept to next episode. Speaking of next episode, after Malekith, we'll be trying to figure out who to go for next. I probably want to turn a little bit and maybe head towards Harganneth and towards the Palace of Princes, like I was saying before, towards the Deadwood Sentinels and all the stuff here, just in case there are other Norscan tribes which we can get to join us. More vassals early on would be swell. Just before we get into this episode, however, I just want to take you and evolve you for only 480 souls. There we go. Now, you have Infernal Dump. Oh, terrible. I guess the extra Undivided Authority would be useful in some situations, but that's kind of meh. What do you have here? Lots of spell resistance, melee defense, and Vanguard deployment for Juggernaut Mounts and Skull Crushers. Bad luck with that, but oh well, what can you do? You know what, just go back to training, and Blade Master and Hard to Hit. What does Brutal Warrior do? Khorne Authority, eh? I mean, I suppose there will be some uses for Undivided Authority later on, as we build some units. We also will have to think about potentially recruiting some new stuff, but we'll start doing that next episode, as potentially we want another Marauder Horseman. Too bad we couldn't get the Trolls for a monstrous unit to be able to break through gates, but I'm sure we'll pick them up eventually. So anyway, that's the end of this episode. Stay tuned for more Valkia and her bloody machinations. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm. and thanks for watching.